There are many things to do during the Souls RNG Halloween update, but there are so many things to do that you could get confused, and it could make you do stuff that literally ruins everything, like buying a pumpkin blood from Fishial, which is a joke. So in this video, I'm going to be telling you guys what things you should do and what you guys should never do during the Souls RNG Halloween update that actually ends pretty soon in December. Also, I will explain if you should use the 2 new gauntlets that were added in the season pass, being the Vampire Hunter and the Ominous Coffin gauntlet. So please watch until the end to make sure you don't do something wrong and potentially miss out on a Halloween global. So as you can see, I'm in a graveyard blood rain right now, and this is actually really cursed. But we have a lot to go through in this video, from if you should pop your heavenlies and where you should pop them, to what you should get from Jack the Pumpkin guy, to how you even do this new season pass, because honestly, it kind of sucks. That's all I can really say. But right before I do get into all of that, I do want to ask you guys to please subscribe, because I have a dream of reaching 100,000 subscribers, and we are only about a quarter of the way to getting to that, because I put a lot of effort into content, and I am developing an AFK macro that will take about 20 years to make. So if you guys could just subscribe, comment, like, share the video, and turn on notifications, that would help me a lot. And also, if I reach 100k subs, I'll give away an ungodly amount of game passes. But that's enough time wasted. Let's get into all of the stuff. So first of all, popping. You should definitely pop your heavilies during the update. There are a stupid amount of new globals, like 7 new globals, a few 1 million and 10 million pluses. It is absolutely crazy, guys. That's all I could say. But which biome you should actually do this in? Well, I recommend Blood Rain for the rarest global auras, like the 1 in 940 million Arachnophobia, the 1 in 1 billion Lamenter, and the 1 in 1.2 billion Erebus. Or if you want slightly easier to get auras, you can pop in Graveyard for the 1 in 624 million Apocalypse, the 1 in 730 million Banshee, and the 1 in 940 million Ravage. But what you guys should not do is pop a Pumpkin Moon, because there's only 1 global aura and like 2 or 3 1 million pluses. It's not really worth it. You can get most of them basically raw if you wait enough. Only thing you can get is the 1 in 462 million Phantasma, and if you guys like that, I guess you could try, but honestly, I would not recommend it. Also, do not pop your heavilies until you have one of the new gauntlets that I'll explain later in the video, because it could make those desirable Halloween globals 20% easier to get, which is really, really good. So now, let's move on to the new RNG pass, because this one's a doozy. So how this works in the first place, because it only released a couple of days ago, is that you might realize that you need a lot more XP, and it's a lot more difficult to progress in it. Because yeah, you have 38 days from this video, so until the beginning of December. And yeah, you get a lot of good stuff, like 2 new gauntlets, which I will go over later, and if you should use it or not, like the Ominous Coffin and the Vampire Hunter. But to get XP, you don't just roll or fish or bam beat the sandworm like I had to do last time, which sucked. You have to go to the missions tab, where you'll be greeted by 2 types of quests, either daily quests or weekly quests. So in the daily quests, you either just complete your other daily quests, which are like playing this biome and stuff like that, play the game for a certain amount of time, up to 2 hours, which is crazy. And yeah, the daily quests, you basically just do the bare minimum for a maximum of 2,500 XP from each of these. Yeah, that's not that good. So for the weekly quests, you have a week to complete them, so they're a lot more difficult. You can earn up to 27,000 XP just by completing 5 of each difficulty of quest board, which won't be easy. Not very AFK of you, that's all I can say. Which, yeah, it's a good thing, but at the same time kind of a bad thing. Then you could also complete the aura hunt quest, where you basically have to get every single aura tier, like 1 in 10k plus to 100k, to 1 in a million, to 1 in 10 million, to 1 in 100 million, and 1 in a billion, which, yeah, people are not going to be completing that every week, and that's not happening. For a maximum of 30,000 XP from getting 1 billion plus, and in total, if you get really lucky, you can earn a total of, from all of these, 61,000 XP, which is a lot. And then you have boss raid. Oh no, you get a lot of XP this time, but if you complete it once, 1,000 up to 3,000 if you complete it 5 times. Yeah, that's gonna suck a lot, even though it's not as bad as last time. So in total, you could have earned 10,000 XP just from killing the boss 5 times. Then there are the Resonance of Biome quests, where if you use the Grail of Resonance on each of these biomes from Windy to Null biome, which is not going to be that easy. Null biome gives you 2,750 XP and Windy gives you 200. You can get a total of 11,150 XP just from AFKing for a day or two by spamming E on the Resonance or using a Strange Controller biome randomizer, which basically forces you to AFK there. And then finally your merchants. And if you talk to Mary 5 times, you get a lot of XP, and then if you talk to Jester once, you get some extra. And in total, from all of this, 12,500 XP is given to you for free, especially if you use some kind of auto merchant macro. Yeah, some of these quests are kind of macroable, or just our luck. So in my opinion, a lot of these quests, they make it so you play the game more, but honestly, it's a lot of effort, especially for the quest border ones, which are really, really difficult. And for the amount of XP you have to put into this battle pass, it's absolutely a grind to do all of this done. This battle pass is getting a bit too difficult here, even though some could argue that's a good thing. So even if the pass kind of sucks right now, I do recommend still completing it, because of course the 2 new gauntlets will be gone forever after the update. And of course Slaughter, an aura that has some lore that you guys can read, but this will also be gone after the update. But what you shouldn't do is buy the RNG premium pass, at least if it's one of the things that you're buying, because guess what? You get 2 pumpkin bloods, 5 potions of bounds, 2 oblivion potions, and of course these rune chests, but those are all RNG from the pass. But here's the thing, you need to get the XP first, which means that you don't instantly get it. And here's the thing guys, let me show you something. You might realize that something costs the exact same thing, and you can buy 3 of them too. The Halloween packages volume 3s, which yeah, there will be a way to get them for free soon as well, because 9 pumpkin bloods are basically locked away behind a paywall. You get 5 more potions of bounds for the same amount of money, and of course you don't get any of the potion chests or none of the blood packs, but those are really easy to get, and you get all of this instantly, which is another thing. And you get like literally 66 hours of both the zombie and the rage potion. It's absolutely insane. But now let's go over the pumpkin guy. So yeah, we might as well talk to him, and let's say what you should do about him. You should definitely save for Tainborn, or Aura as the game affectionately calls it. This will be gone after the Halloween update, after November ends. You'll be able to flex it on all those new gens that have never seen this before, never were able to obtain it, as well as this title as well. That would be good. And after that, you can save for your pumpkin bloods, void coins, and have these if you want later. But don't you dare. Okay, of course he disappeared. But what you guys should never ever do is buy this guy's oblivion potions, because guess what? If I scroll down a little bit here, hopefully people know how to do this. You can go to void coins. You can buy 5 void coins for about 1,000 points less than this. And the only thing you'll really need is to just hunt a jester. And if you AFK your private server enough, or you just randomly decide to use merchant teleporter, you might just get teleported to jester, and you might be able to buy an oblivion potion. Honestly, it's a lot better this way, especially as there's a limit to exchanging with them. If you have 5, it's all good. Also, don't buy the oblivion potion from this Fishial, the scammer, because he should not waste 3.5 million coins or 60,000 dark points that take weeks to get on this scammer. And here's another thing that you shouldn't do. Don't you dare buy pumpkin bloods from this woman, or I should stop now, because these either cost your entire inventory worth of your coins or 100,000 dark points, which is absolutely insane. Multiple weeks of dark points, or literally, if you're just getting your money out of the bank, 50 days of AFK. That is an absolute joke. Do not buy from Fishial these rare things. You can buy your Gauntlets like I did earlier, but don't buy Oblivions or Pump Bloods from her. And here's another thing you should actually buy from Fishial. Sometimes you can get a 20% chance a Halloween item to stock in this daily shop, and they're relatively cheap, basically nothing from dark points, and it's probably the best way to get them before you've gotten all the hard hitters from Jack. I do recommend buying that stuff from her. But do not waste your bounty medals on kind of useless random stuff like lucky potions. I know you might need them for heavenlies, but you can get lucky potions any day, but you cannot get bounty medals after the Halloween update. Just spend all this on the hard hitters, please. So now let's go over all the new gauntlets and if you should actually use them or not. And I actually don't have them yet, but I do have the mats for them. So what you should do is definitely use the vampire hunter once you get it, but only during Halloween biomes. And when you pop a higher max luck potion, because it is a right-handed gauntlet after all. Because if you pop a heavily, there's this thing. The heavily basically gets 20% more luck for Halloween auras, which makes this just really OP for getting the globals. I'm pretty sure it makes the Rebus not a 1 billion plus anymore. That's how crazy it is. And if a gauntlet has 288% luck and 30% roll speed, or 36% roll speed and the same base luck, it becomes better to AFK with that gauntlet in Halloween biomes than using that gauntlet. So if you have volcanic device or anything with more luck, do not even bother using the vampire hunter if you're trying to AFK. But one of the other gauntlets has a little bit of a different issue. And that is this thing, the Ominous Coffin. Because it is basically just a glorified flesh device. But it just gives 30% extra roll speed during Pumpkin Moon, Graveyard, and Blood Rain. But there's a reason why nobody used to use flesh device even before Eon 1. And everyone used grab. And people still use Arc Shader and Polite Core. And that is because it is worse than them. Basically at flesh device levels. It sucks. You shouldn't use it. You should only ever use it if your best gauntlet is like Jackpot Gauntlet or Gemstone. Even though those are still pretty okay. So I guess Ominous Coffin could just go into the bin. That's all I could really say. And if you want extra roll speed, just use Polite Core at this point. And again, only use Vampire Hunter if you're popping potions. That's pretty important. So now let's get over this Blood Rain biome. Because there's a way you could actually spawn this. And that is by using this thing called a Cursed Rune Fragment. That Mary sucked. But what this does is it basically makes it so that if it's Graveyard or Pumpkin Moon, you could just use this thing. I can't use it now. To make it into Blood Rain. And in this biome, you can of course get a basically Hades Breakthrough Rarity Aura only, which I somehow don't have yet. But of course, do not use these Cursed Rune Fragments as soon as the Halloween biome starts. Because the best thing to do is to just wait until the moon is nearly gone off the horizon. When it's about to turn day, the biome ends. And then use Blood Moon just to get the most out of that other Halloween biome so you can get the most time inside a Halloween biome for the highest chance of getting good auras. Also to not annoy people that want the Graveyard Pumpkin Moon auras. And finally, what you should really do is to AFK as much as you can during this update. This shouldn't be a surprise, but you're going to miss out on a lot of stuff if you don't play the game as much as you can during the update. There are so many limited auras that you can get. I probably won't be getting them. Probably won't be getting a lot of them. You never know when you might cook. You could literally cook in the first day of AFKing because the event of course ends in December and all of those limited auras are getting vaulted and you never will be able to get them out again. Like you could craft heavenlies while AFK. You could pop during these biomes. Another tip is to just keep your heavenlies until you get Vampire Hunter as well, because it will be worth it getting those limiteds. But don't do what I'm forced to do, and that is using your portable crack and going to Limbo, because you can't get a single Halloween related thing in this place. The Blood Rain doesn't change anything, that's only visual. You're missing out on stupid amounts of Halloween auras. And I of course didn't miss out on some of them because, well, the devs don't teleport you back to Limbo and after an update. And when a person is in school, they can't just hop on their AFK PC from home. Send their account back. You should only ever AFK here if you're like me and you're basically forced to AFK here for most roles leaderboard. You want to skip stacks and you're low on all those overworld boosts, which I am quite stacked on, or you have a lot of forbidden potions. Honestly, this is miserable, guys. I'm going to definitely make a video on how it kind of sucks to be a leaderboard player. But that's all for the video. There has been a lot of stuff added in the update and I just went over the best things you should do with these new features and of course what you shouldn't do. Please don't buy stuff from Fishial that costs 5 million coins. This should just be a rule of thumb. Anything costs above 1 million in Fishial, doesn't matter what item is, never buy it. But anyway, please like, subscribe if you guys want to succeed in the Halloween update. Get a good Halloween global, maybe get a new best aura from this Halloween stuff. And well, goodbye.